All right. Where do I start? Let's just go. Hi guys. This is really hard for me to talk about. Getting this video started has been a whirlwind. Like, I've had camera issues, sound issues, setup. I think somebody does not want me to shoot this video. It's weird. Obviously too, I'm really nervous. This topic is just very sort of controversial in my, I guess, personal bubble. Okay, with friends, family, my church family and all of that. So I understand that. And, you know, I just want to also reach out to those who do personally know me that, you know, that this might come as a surprise. It's obviously not something necessarily positive or whatever, but I would just hope basically that you would respect what I have to say and, you know, still care for me as a human being and love me, because I still respect you and love you too and care about you guys. So hear me out and try to get into my shoes and try to understand where I'm coming from, basically. And those who don't know me, this is just another way for you guys to kind of get to know me better, and hopefully for all of you guys, this might be a way for you to relate to me. And yeah, so I'm just going to use this platform, this YouTube platform, as a way to kind of just share with you my experience, my thoughts, my beliefs on the matter. And it's just a way for me to kind of collect my thoughts, I guess, and process things as well. It's almost like therapy, I guess you could say. It's a way for me to kind of just like get this out there, off my chest, off my mind, out into the world. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing this too. So first off, this is definitely not something that I ever would have thought that I would talk about openly. I've always been very just quiet, not necessarily shy, but just I as far as when it comes to like sharing my opinions, my views, my experiences, anything that could potentially like be a way to judge me and my character, my person, my beliefs, everything. I avoid it at all costs. So I've never really been one to share anything, and especially something like this. It took me 34 years to finally have some confidence and realize the value that my voice has, my experiences have, my thoughts, my views, my opinions. I've learned that they're valuable, and I should be able to share them with anybody. And this is great because obviously, like, I'm sharing to the world in a way, but at the same time, I'm able to just sit here in my, empty basement and chat. Regardless, thank you guys for coming by. Bear with me. I'm sorry if this is just all over the place, but again, it's a really difficult topic, but I wanted to share and express things and just get this kind of out there and off of my mind and my heart and my soul. So bear with me. Obviously, coming from the title and the description, this is regarding my family's decision to divorce our church. And divorce is, I know that's a kind of a hot word. I don't necessarily use it lightly. I know divorce in general, marriage-wise, is a very serious thing, but I think that I can use that word to describe this, our separating from, our leaving our church, because a lot of the feelings and emotions and everything involved in divorce are very similar when it comes to leaving a church, because you're leaving friends, family. There's a close-knit community with church and relationships. It is like a divorce. I can't believe I'm talking about this. So I guess just a little bit of background. We've been going to our church for probably at least 10 years, give or take, for quite a while. My husband and I got married by our pastor. A lot of our, church friends and family attended the wedding. I've seen people develop relationships, get married. I've seen people have children. We've had our own, 2 kids. I've seen people pass away. I've seen people come and go as far as staff, worship leaders. I've seen relationships grow and bloom, and I've seen the opposite. I've seen relationships disintegrate and divorce between spouses. My husband and I have been really involved with various groups in church. I was on our hospitality team, brewing up coffee in the morning. My husband's on the youth, or the little kids children's ministry. We helped start the church's softball commission. So we've played and start teams. Really, there's never been a women's team. I was able to help start a women's team in my church. So we played a lot of softball in our community. We've done different events and volunteering opportunities. So with all of that, we've obviously grown relationships with a lot of people at our church. And again, I don't want to see those relationships end necessarily, but I do feel like this leaving the church could potentially lead to that. And again, I don't want that. And I hope to still maintain those relationships to some extent, you know, whatever that looks like. So that would be a great outcome of this. Sorry if I'm just super fidgety. Oh my goodness, here, chill out. I gotta stop moving around. Oh my gosh, my hair. Okay, I gotta put my hair back, you guys. I'm sorry. Because I'm just fidgeting with it. I gotta stop. Okay, so moving on. So that's been like our history with church. So as you can gather, you know, we've had a lot. We've grown in different ways there. We've developed different relationships and all of that. So here we go with the pandemic. The church was closed for, I don't know, a couple months maybe? Nah, maybe not a couple months. I don't know, because eventually they did start doing online services, which was great. But then it came time to start doing and providing like in-person church. And what our church decided to do was outdoor service, and it like a drive-in type service where you could sit in your car with your family and turn on the radio and tune in to the service, which was great. So it was the first service I attended myself without my family because we've got the kids, and it would just be a nightmare for them to be stuck in the car, and I was not ready for them to come out and mingle and interact with anybody because, again, the pandemic. My husband and my kids stayed home. So I show up. I was kind of shocked and surprised to notice that practically nobody was wearing a mask. Myself, I wore a mask, and a couple other people wore a mask. And that instantly, to me, was just like a smack to the face. I don't know if that's the way to put it, but I was just really surprised. And I saw a lot of people. There's no social distancing. There were people hugging and interacting, very, very close-knit. Little kids were running around, and I was really surprised and shocked that that was happening. What I thought was, okay, our church, we're a family, like we're in this together, we're all doing this for each other and for the community, and everyone's going to wear masks. That's kind of the impression that I got, going into service, like coming to service, I'm like, this is what it's going to be, but it was not the case. That was just a surprise. After that, I did not attend church in person, neither did my family. We did kind of tune in online and all that, but throughout the pandemic, it obviously gave all of us, most of us at least, time to kind of slow down with life, to think, to evaluate where you're at, where we're at, just time to spend with family, time to discuss things, discuss feelings, reflect back on things that, happened in the past, and views and emotions and all of that. It gave us time to do that, especially around our church. So it was great to have all that time to think and everything. But what kind of made us make the decision to leave our church was the opening up in person indoors. Again, our church, they were trying their best to kind of get to this point and make sure that there were things in place for, social distancing and sanitizer everywhere and different rules and that type of thing, social distancing in the worship area. I don't know, because I haven't been there, so I don't know how that's all been. However, one of the things that really just kind of put me over the edge was a statement by church leadership stating that you can wear a mask if you'd like. That's like a decision that you can make. If you want to come wearing a mask, that is your decision, and you can do that. So, of course, that means that there They're not mandating mask wearing. I mean, it just opens up this whole thing where some people wear a mask and some don't, because the whole purpose is if everyone wears masks, you're protecting everybody. But if 4 people wear masks and the rest of the people there, 50 people don't, I mean, those people wearing masks are not protected, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's just, there's a whole bunch of stuff behind all of that, behind that decision to not mandate mask wearing. So this little thing here, this mask, is really what put me over the edge and my family over the edge. Our church deciding to say, hey, it's okay if you want to wear a mask. We'll still accept you. You know, it's okay. Come wear a mask if you'd like. If you don't, it's all good. You know, I just think that clearly showed their stance on it, and which was disappointing. And I'm not pointing fingers at anyone in particular, because I know it was a group decision, leadership decision, all of that. One thing I should touch on too is just in regards to the mask wearing, I have heard that certain people in leadership were making fun of people for wearing masks, calling them idiots for wearing a mask, like only idiots wear masks. And that is just like, what the F? I'm not gonna swear. So not only was this the main issue, there was other things that really my husband and I talked about that was really that really made us make the decision and solidify the decision of leaving the church. And there's just been, there's been certain relationships via social media that have kind of crumbled, surrounding, again, the pandemic, also the election coming up, just comments that other people are making to me that are just like, dude, like, I go to church with you, like, how can you say something like that? And I'm not perfect. I know I've said things that are maybe potentially offensive or whatnot, but I tried to not like offend or hurt anyone's feelings, I guess. That's not my intention ever. So there's also been social injustice issues going on in our country, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement, just other issues going on, certain individuals, and again, people in leadership that have expressed views and opinions that are just kind of shocking to me. I've seen hints of racism, I've seen hints of sexism, I've seen hints of discrimination, and like I said, our church has not taken a stance on any of those issues. It's like there's a fear of bringing those topics up. I don't know, but there are issues that I feel that leadership in the church should address, should not be afraid to address, and I think it's totally appropriate to talk about those things. Talk with your friends and family about those things, and it's just clear that our church just did not want to address any of those issues. Not only that, but again, some of our close friends have expressed these views that I've mentioned, and it's been a shock. So I've learned a lot about myself, but I've also learned a lot about my friends and family in the church, and again, people in leadership. And these are people that I love, I respect, and I admire. And it's just, and I still do. They're still my brothers and sisters in God and Christ and everything. But I think it's just been a time for us to move on, basically. So with all that to say, the vibe that I've gotten over the last several weeks, months, has been that my church is turning into this exclusive club. And I've actually used the term cult. I'm not saying it's a cult, but that's how I've perceived how it's become or turning into. And also it's just, there's just a really big lack of diversity, I think, too. And I think hopefully the church will work on that. And it will also work on having a stance on social injustice and various issues that we all need to be talking about and interacting with, instead of just setting aside and focusing solely on scripture. Scripture is important, but I think there are real life issues going on. People are dealing with serious things, and I think the church needs to address it. And it's just, I'm really shocked that our church has not done that. And I'm actually kind of getting a little bit emotional about it, because I'm crazy. I can't even believe I'm doing this. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm crying. I never cry, you guys. I really never cry. So this is just, obviously it's just something that's really just strong in my heart, and I just feel like we need to love each other. We need to address the issues that are going on in the world. And people are dying, and children are dying, and you know, there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of hate out there, and I think our church can do better with that. I think our church can make a difference in that. We're in Whiteville, USA, where I live. I mean, there's practically like 4 black people that live in my city, and to learn that they're afraid to drive at night in my community is just, it blows my mind, and it's really, really sad. And for certain friends that have tried to express their story, for that other individual listening to them to say, well, your views are wrong, your experience is invalid, how about this? Think about this, or try to divert them from their own story, from their own history, from their views, to try to negate that and turn a cheek on that is unsettling, and I don't even know what words to use, but it really is disappointing, and I can't be associated with that anymore. I didn't even realize I was going to start talking about this stuff right now, you guys. I don't know what got into me. Try to get back to where I'm headed here. So I recognize that nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. No church is perfect in what they do. But I do think that things can be worked on, and I think that is necessary for my church. That is unfortunately no longer my church. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, my knee is killing me. I can't sit cross-legged anymore. All right, let me finish this off here. I want to just boil this all down and ask everybody too out there, if you guys are experiencing something like this. Is anyone currently in a church where they're kind of having a second guess, having a second opinion, or a change of heart on their church? Wanting to try a different church or leave their church, or whatever the case is, please share down below, because this is part of the point. This is part of what I want to do, is just connect with other people about something, about this issue and what's on my mind and heart and everything. So I want to know that there's other people out there going through this. That being said, you guys, I'm going to leave you with a few final points. Wear the frickin' mask, okay? Because science. If not for anything, because science. If not anything, because you love your neighbor. I don't care if you're sick and tired of wearing these things. I am too. I have to wear these every freaking day for work. Everywhere I go. I work in a hospital. I have to wear these all the time. Okay, suck it up. Wear the freaking mask. And I don't give a shit. I don't care if it's uncomfortable, if it's against your rights or whatever. I don't care. Wear it, okay? This is a little snippet of your life that you have to wear a mask if you go out and about. It's not a big deal. You're not going to die, likely. If you have a health issue, that's one thing, but for the majority of the population, you're not going to die from wearing a mask. And I think it's just silly, all of the excuses and the arguments for people not doing it. It really pisses me off, frankly. I say too, if frickin' Jesus Christ sacrificed his life and died on the cross for you, for me, we can sacrifice just a smidgen of comfort and wear our mask. We can sacrifice a little bit of that for the better, for other people, to save other people's lives. The majority of people, professionals, say that these work. This is not a big deal, you guys. This is not a big deal. I can breathe fine. I'm not breathing in CO2. It's okay. It's okay. Wear the mask. The second thing that I want to say is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. The third thing I want to say is RIP RBG. The fourth thing I want to say is grab them by the polls. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys, thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for watching this video. Those of you who know me personally, I love you. Doesn't matter what you think, what your views are. I don't care. I still love you guys. You guys are my family. You're my brothers. You're my sisters. I still love you guys. It's all good. And I do want the church to succeed. I want them to go on. I want them to move forward and do good things. And I know they will. I know they will. But it's time. It's time for us to move on, and that's okay. That's okay. Those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe if you feel led. I'd appreciate the support, and hopefully you will continue to get to know me. And I'd love to get to know you guys too. So again, comment down below your thoughts, your feelings, your views, all of that good stuff. All right, with that, thank you guys so much for coming by. You guys take care, and I'll see you again next time.